Hey guys, what's up? It's Alec Torelli. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because new videos are coming out every week, sharing lessons I learned in poker that apply to life and business. Today's video comes from a reflection on a few conversations I've just had recently with people where I've been trying to do this sort of thing where I just get to know random people and just ask them about their life. And I guess this started for me in poker where at the table, I always like people. I just love people. I'm curious about them and how they see the world and what makes them tick. And to some extent, it's really helped me. That genuine curiosity has helped me at the poker table because understanding how people see the world makes me understand how they play, and then I get better at poker. Anyway, what I've found is a common sort of thread throughout these people that I've talked to that I'd like to share with you because I feel like it's happened on the micro level. Maybe it's happened It's something that a lot of you experience as well, and there's a takeaway from it. So when I ask people about something, it always starts with something superficial, right? We start talking about the weather, that it's cool out and it's hot out or whatever. It's been crazy in New York City lately, or it's too hot in Vegas here, whatever. Then they start saying something about a random sort of subject, right? And then this sort of leads down a path where I ask a few more questions, and soon, if you're genuinely curious and like people will open up to you and they start talking about something that interests them, and you could see that this is a genuine passion that they have. So for example, when I was at Whole Foods, I was sitting at the little place where everyone convenes and eats. I was working on my computer. I started talking to some guy next to me, and pretty soon he's telling me about his son and how he loves to cook and he likes to produce content about cooking, and he makes cooking, these little like cooking videos, but he really likes to cook, and cooking is his thing, and he starts talking about it, and he tells me about his grandma and how she taught him to cook. He makes all these special dishes, and he makes these sauces and whatever. And so this happens all the time. Right? There's always something that someone has that's their unique thing that they kind of love. And maybe you're saying, oh yeah, that's me. I have this, and I love photography, or for me it's painting, or for me it's whatever. And I've found that in these things, in these hobbies, these passions, these things that people love doing, there's a message somewhere hidden in there. So he likes cooking because he can help people be healthier and make them make quick sauces that taste good on their food, and he can help them be healthier. So this was something he was passionate about, sharing this message of health through his cooking, and that was an expression of his art and himself. It was nothing related to the job that he actually had. And this is very common, where it's like someone works a job that's completely different from something that they're very interested and passionate about, and they feel like is their message that they want to share, or their purpose, or whatever you want to call it. And I've noticed this in like a ton of interactions that I've had recently. And so I'm making this video because I feel like you out there watching must also fit in this category. I know I do. It's likely that there's something that you feel connected to where you're like, hey, you know, people tell me I'm good at this, or this is kind of that thing that I do to kind of express myself or to get away or to detach from the day. And in that activity, there are lessons that you learn from that activity that apply to life in some way, or that make your perspective unique and make what the message that you have to share different than the one that I have to share. You know, I see the world through the lens of poker, through odds and equity and psychology and all these things, because that's how I came up. So I make videos that are about how I use my interactions in poker, or the lessons I've learned in poker that help people in life as well. But I'm just telling the story through my lens. But everyone has their own lens. And I feel like you have a message, and your message is unique because only you see the world the way that you do, right? Nobody else is the cook that this guy was that makes these sauces from his grandma, that he grew up in this African-American household where she makes these particular dishes and all this sort of stuff, right? Like, I'm a poker player that travels, is married to an Italian. Like, there's just no other combination of that. I remember reading something as a kid that my mom put next to my bed on this little poster, and it said, I am the only unique me that will ever be. I have the power to make a difference in this world. I look forward to taking on the grand adventure of life, living, and always remembering to be myself. I love being me. That was a great, empowering thing to read every day as a kid because it made me realize, like, wow, I am unique. My perspective on the world is unique, and I have something to offer. And I think believing that is very important because there's so many people that have a message that is genuinely compelling that other people could learn from. Why they're not producing content, why they're not sharing that message is because of fear. because they feel like nobody's going to care about it. Nobody's going to like it. People are going to judge me. What are the trolls going to say? But we live in a world now where the barrier to entry to connect with the whole world is your smartphone and the internet, which everyone watching this has. So there is absolutely no barrier to entry for everyone watching this. Like, you could have 1 million followers. Not that you're measuring your efficacy in followers or your self-worth in followers, but you can reach millions of people. Whereas before, you had to filter through all the nonsense of like the politics of television or radio, or you had to know people or like all this stuff. But you could be in a total niche and you could make videos about cooking or art or climbing or anything, and you could express how that has helped you in your life and other people will watch it. Or you could just simply make strategic videos about how you, like I make videos on my other YouTube channel, Conscious Poker, on how I play poker, and people watch that just because they're curious about the technical side of poker. And I also make lifestyle videos here. So you can make videos on anything. You could share content on anything. Your message could be heard on every single or any medium that you want to express yourself. If you like photos, you can put it on Instagram. If you like video, you can put it on YouTube. If you like audio, you could put it on podcasts. If you writer, you could put it on Medium or a blog. So there's really no barrier to entry. There's no reason not to be expressing ourselves, and everyone has a unique message. And I feel like if you feel kind of like a slight unfulfillment, dissatisfaction with a job, or feel like something is missing, a lot of times I feel like for me, it's because even though if I'm doing something that I'm making money at doing, or I'm successful at these other things superficially, if I don't feel like I'm sharing content that matters, or I'm sharing a message that I believe in, or I'm giving what I feel like is my purpose to the world, I'm helping other people on their journey, I don't feel like I'm doing what is truly important to me. So I have to find a space for that. And I've noticed that even finding space to do little things like make 5-minute videos about the way I see the world has made me a lot more fulfilled in all the other things I'm doing. It's kind of created this equilibrium for me where I'm like, okay, I'm working on all these other things, but I'm also creating time for what I feel like I'm not doing because I'm not motivated by anything other than my passion for doing it. Like, I'm not doing these videos to make money. I'm not selling anything. I'm doing this because I love doing it, and I feel like maybe I could connect with 1 or 2 other people or help 1 or 2 other people on their journey. That would be very meaningful to me. So creating space in your life for that activity, whatever it is for you, and then sharing it to actually be able to connect and help other people, I feel like would truly make the difference in a lot of people's lives to make it more meaningful. And we got to get to a place where we believe that our message is unique, because we're starting to realize that other people don't see the world the way that we do. So talk to other people, and you'll see that everyone has this same thread, but they all see it from a different perspective, and nobody is you, because you're the only unique you that will ever be. So I think it's important to do this and get to the place where we're confident enough in what we're doing that we're not held back by the opinions and judgment of other people, because that's ultimately what's really holding most people back. So I think exploring this, being aware of this, and really trying to figure out what is your message, what makes you unique, and how is the best way for you to share that? What medium of communication serves your personality the best? And then produce a piece of content. Like, I'm sitting here at my hotel room at the Wynn. I have a half hour before I have to go somewhere. I'm just shooting a piece of content and uploading it. It's as simple as that. So just start. Like, this is my new YouTube channel. So you just got to start. And for the first year, nobody really cares about what you're saying. And it doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't important. It doesn't mean you're not successful or that anything like that. It just means it takes time to build anything worth doing. So you can't be measuring your success in terms of followers or likes or comments or anything like that. You have to feel like what you're putting out is truly important enough that it deserves to be created or made in spite of the superficial way that you're going to measure these metrics. And then keep doing that. And if you love what you're doing, you'll be inspired to keep doing it. And, scratch away until you find that thing and keep doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And eventually, if what you're saying is interesting and you refine the way you're doing it, people will follow. People will catch on, and you'll build something. And it's the same with a business, right? If you're selling a product that you truly believe is important, it's going to help people in the world, it's the same thing. And just keep going. So just start. And you have a message. The world needs to hear it. I hope you'll share it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.